Sir4CKSH07 just resubbed for 6 months.
Thank
Hope
you.
this helps you recover.
Thank you. A little bit hungover today. England lead by 216 runs with 4 wickets remaining. Yeah, we can definitely win this. We're recovering from, we had our 20th anniversary on the 1st of September, and yesterday we had a party, like a big party for all our friends and family, and it started at 1 and finished at around midnight, and drank an awful lot of food. Drank an awful lot of booze, I should say. See, that's the hangover talking.
Gibbo789 just resubbed for 8 months. Hope you had a great party last night.
I did. Groovy. This is just... It takes so bloody long to find a match. Oh, Can I move my team to the new ladder or not?
Pogatankad tipped $50. Cheers on the anniversary.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. So, quit this league. Join a league. Is it this one? pfgoonarchive ladder. Is it this one? Because there's 86 people in there, so I figure it must be, right? Oh, this one. pfgoonarchive ladder open with validation. Right. Thank you, Red. That would explain why it took so long. Use ticket? Done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers, Red. Who knew that we would suddenly have a Blood Bowl league going on? Like, since I've been playing this game for years, why did this just come up? It's so weird. It's just like it's so amazing to me how this happens. Like, it didn't even occur to me to do this. And then Munt goes, "You know what we should do? We can cast Blood Bowl games." And I was like, "Fucking of course!" Like, I'm such an idiot for not thinking of that. God bless the lads, you know. Eri comes up with the Dota in houses and does all the work. Munt comes up with the Blood Bowl in houses and does all the work. I'm the worst, man. I'm the worst person. What a dingus. Such a dingus. Smart rulers have smart advisors. I would say, more importantly, incredibly lazy, obnoxiously stupid rulers have smart and hardworking advisors. I don't delegate. These things just happen. And I go, "Oh, yes, I was just thinking that would be good." "Of course you were, your majesty. Just put it, do it. I will it." Oh man. You've got 3 plus Agi Ogres. How? Yes, they are, Nami D. Yes, they are. Me and Lewis record them. So we do Triforce. Me, Lewis, and Sips do Triforce on a Thursday morning. And then they edit it together and get all the talking faces and all that for YouTube. Upload it to all the platforms, etc. And straight after we've done Triforce, since we're both right there, and I've put off streaming until afterwards anyway. I don't think Lewis has anything set up after Triforce either. So we're like, why don't we do a Scrubcast? So we're just doing them after Triforce. And it's just a fun little extra thing to chuck on the end. My orcs aren't that strong. We've only just started out, really. When am I going to find a game? What is going on here? Should I re-queue? 3 seconds. Dragoon Stompaz. Don't know who this is. Bob, have any of your halflings in your ogre team survived long enough for you to level them up? Is it Noblars actually for ogres? I can't remember. Is it Noblars or halflings? I can never remember. It's Noblars. You have a level 3 Noblar. Did you get sidestep? The best skill. Oh, sprint and catch. Okay. Get sidestep. They become the most annoying unit. Because with sidestep, when they push you or knock you down, you get to choose which square you go to. And you can just stay glued to a lad. Oh, for the 1 turn. Yeah, that makes sense. What do we got here? An orc team with a sub and 4 rerolls. Oh, Rami. Oh, Rami. I have no clue what to do, but here goes. Okay. First of all, you don't need 4 rerolls, and generally as orcs, a sub like any team that has 9 armor on everybody, pretty much. I don't think it's worth getting a sub. Yes, sometimes you'll end up a man down, but you're a durable team. Do you know what I mean? And this is just bloat. This is just TV boat. What is they? 70k?
Zarok just
rerolls
subbed for 23 months.
Are worth a fortune for your team value. And if you look, you only have 1 lad with a skill. Sir Action Reroll. A lineman with block, which is of limited use, I would say. Yeah, Amazons I find getting completely destroyed by the enemy is pretty much a thing that happens. Come on, changing weather. Let's get some nice weather. Some good football weather. Oh my god. Calamitous. Wood Elves, you're probably going to lose to Wood Elves. Like, that's just the way it goes. It's very hard. You need a team with lots of tackle.
Imdead Happy just resubbed for 5 months. Just wanted to say bravo on your Scrub Dota revival. I love, you're fantastic, energetic, and incredibly engaging. Please continue.
Thank you. What is this? Any player attempting to move an extra square will slip a knockdown on a roll of 1 to 2. The snow reduces visibility, so only quick or short passes can be attempted. Gotcha. Does this guy ever fart on stream? I've been waiting for an hour. Well, that's impossible, because I've only been live for 20 minutes. Talking bollocks. I don't know, British Ewa. I think I use, what are they called? I can't remember what paints I use. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry. Army Painter, I think. Everyone is trying to find a team they enjoy. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are new to the game and want to try all the teams, which is absolutely understandable. I think if you can keep around 1k to 1200, you're going to find a lot more games. That's not ideal for the fella. I think I probably will have a look at Blood Bowl 3 in early access. I certainly will watch some people stream it. I'm not going to get it at release and just play it straight away. I want to see if it's any good, because honestly, we've just got this league going, and it's fun, and Blood Bowl 2 is pretty much, you know, it's okay. It's got some problems, but it's certainly fun to play with the lads. So I'm not sure if I would immediately want to make the switch to Blood Bowl 3. And like I said, everybody's got this, and they're playing. So I'm happy enough to play this. Yes, I think I did play Bob's team. I can't remember if I won or if we drew. I can't remember. I don't know if I lost. I think I might have done, but I'm pretty sure it was either a draw or something like that. Why did he re-roll that? I definitely thought I'd played against your ogre team, because I remember seeing the plus agi guy. Sleepy time. Oh ho! Sponsored by Nvidia is injured. +2 SPP from the deck. It might have been a friendly, Bob. It might have been a friendly when we played. I think that rings a bell. And you just got them. Wasn't it the ogres that you played with, or was that something else? I'm sure I've played your ogres because I remember seeing the plus agi ogre. You also get skill points for interceptions. I think that's one of the things they've said that they're improving with Blood Bowl 3 is that it's easier to level up your lads because the amount of skill points you get. Chaos plus Agi Beastman. I'm sure I played against your. I'm sure I played against your ogres.
Crab Knight
Maybe
just
not.
resubbed for 1 month.
Maybe not. I'm sure you're right. I mean, I just definitely remember seeing a plus Agi ogre. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Poor old Gregors. Gonna take a lump in here. Yes, and the MVP as well. Gregors did not wake up. Rami, if you're still in stream, there is no stream sniping in Blood Bowl. Feel free to stay tuned in, anyone. Your mistake there, if I may, was that you overloaded this side. When you saw the ball down, you thought, now's my chance. But on your blitz turn, you moved lads into position to cover me, but you never blitzed me. You never actually threw a blitz, which you can do when you roll blitz. So you didn't create a problem for me. I just moved the lad over. And covered the gap. We knocked you all down. You had all your lads lined up right on the flank here. So it was too easy for me to knock you down, cover the ball, and then the 2 lads I sent round the back you seemed unconcerned about. You kept moving more lads towards the ball, which means all they need to do is create a small gap, hand the ball off, and they just leg it up the pitch, and you don't have any cover. Don't get sucked into one area, because it may not look like orcs can move the ball that far. And to be fair, we're not like elves, but we do have lads with 6 move. That's quite a lot of movement. I mean, that means if we were here, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hand it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've taken the ball from here to here in 1 turn, and that's without any go for it. So if you don't cover areas, and you leave gaps, suddenly you're scrambling to stop them scoring, and that's when you have to take chances you don't want to have to take. You want me to take chances, because think about it this way: if I've got the ball, I have to have a ball carrier and maybe a couple of lads guarding him. The rest of your team is concerned with knocking my lads down, creating gaps, and getting onto the ball carrier. Ho ho! In the hands of Action Smash 'em Dan. I love the fact that there are now 2 evenings of in-houses. 1 Dotes, 1 Blood Bowl. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. How does in-house Dota work with the MMR gaps? Everyone that plays in the in-houses is dog. That's pretty much how it works. The CS just wasn't as interesting to me You know what I mean? Who's this? The Crab Knight gifted a load of subs. Thank you very much, dude. That's very kind. So the CS in-houses... CSGO is just not as entertaining a game for me to watch, because quite often it's just pretty much the same. But they are still going. They're just not being cast, but they're still being played, I think. It was okay. I personally don't find CS:GO as funny and interesting. So I wasn't as drawn to it as I was to the magic of the Dota in-houses, which are just hilarious. They're pretty much dead. I am sorry. It's just they're just not as interesting to me.
Astroclassicist just resubbed for 16 months.
Just need to press end turn there, Rami. There we go. Okay. I wonder if he still has animations on. Like, the thing with Blood Bowl, I think, that I liked was watching it the other day. It was just genuinely funny because of some of the bizarre things that people did, and it can be very funny to watch. But it also always has the potential for even things that look good to go horribly wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just that kind of game, isn't it? Man, would love these two lads on the pitch. I didn't have a 2 dice block on the lad though, did I? I didn't see a chain. If there was one. Oh, you mean... come round and blitz him? Oh my god, why are you throwing that 1 dice block? I didn't see a surf. If I missed one, that's standard. Standard surf miss. Okay. That's a shame if I missed that, god damn. He's going for it. Oh! Oh! God, that's a gamble. I think he might have this.
Crazy_diamond just resubbed for 7 months. Hi.
Hi. Fourth Luke. How many Lukes has he got? He who bashes. Do it! Do it, Hawes! Ah. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. God damn. Fuck. Yeah, that would have been such a sweet play. Good shout, Soup. I'm hungover, mate, alright? Yeah, the scrums are classic orc ball. Anytime you get knocked over, that's all that armor dice is about. It's not about what you roll, it's purely about were you knocked over. Did you fall over, or like if you fail to go for it, or you fail to dodge, you're rolling dice. Son of a bitch. So you fail a leap, you fail a dodge, fail a go for it, or you get knocked down by the opponent, or you don't have block and you have to choose both down and you get knocked down. You have to roll armor. If you hit the deck, you have to roll armor. If you gently place yourself on the deck with wrestle, you do not. I think that's the... Oh, and if you do piling on and end up on the deck, you don't have to roll for your own armor. Those are the only two ways that you can be on the deck without having to roll armor. Wrestle and piling on, I think. Or maybe diving tackle. I think you end up on the deck as well from diving tackle. You don't have to roll for that. I've had lads go for it for the last turn touchdown and perish. It happens. This is some stinky weather. Well, we're not talking about turnovers, we're talking about armor rolls.
Mate Putate 42 just resubbed for 15 months. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good, as you so correctly say, afternoon. Would that be if they had dump off? Dump off is quite a funny skill. If you're about to be tackled, you can attempt a short pass. So it's like you'd quickly dump the ball off, like a lateral, you know, or like in rugby when you're about to go down, you just toss the ball. So I guess if you had a skill that let you, do that. How risky do we want to be? Actually, just stay there. Stay there. Yeah, we're down a couple of lads, but let's go for it. How long are the turn timers in this league? Three minutes? Feels like it's been way longer than 3 minutes.
Seeker_82 just resubbed for 30 months.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's fair for Munt to up it. I think that's a good idea. I mean, there used to be... I don't know if there still is, but there was one in... Oh, no. There was one in Blood Bowl 1, I think, where there was like a 30-second timer. You had hardly any time at all. It was crazy. $40 seconds, yeah, that's right. I'm doing Escape from Tarkov next week. I've got 3 streams next week for Escape from Tarkov that I'm doing for Nvidia. So if you're looking for Tark, next week is the time. Oh boy. Oof, lucky lad. Because it's snowing, he fails a third of the time. Why would you do that, dude? Thank you for this up. Oh, that was a mistake. Fuck! Shit! Oh wow, thank you. Sorry, I was mentally aft. Damn it. That was so stupid. I should have moved this guy over to here. Blitz this guy, and then he, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, can get on the ball carrier. That was a El Buberino. So yeah, yesterday was great. Got really drunk. It was great fun. Yeah, they could have served him, but I was hoping to get enough lads in that he wouldn't have a spare man. Classic Blood Bowl. Rami, I think the thing is you fell over here. But you didn't need to make the go for it because I don't need to make go for it to get on your ball carrier. I need to make dodges. Right? Or manage to knock these lads over. And the most I can get on there is like one lad. I think I would have had to blitz one of these lads, knock the other one down to get a couple of lads free. So I think at that point you just don't stand so close to the edge. Like stay in bounds a little bit and just hope that I mess up my rolls. Or, you know, have to make a dodge to go for it, something like that. But the moment you're throwing dice on your turn, and with the snow, it's not impossible for you to fail to go for it. Unfortunately for you, it's just fucking awful conditions to try to go for it. But yeah, I don't know if rolling there for the go for it was the right play, because I don't think it actually, if it could guarantee the touchdown, you know what I mean? Like these go for it's mean he can't catch me. I think maybe it would be worth it. But I think I was going to be able to get someone on you regardless of whether you go for it or not. But at least if I have to roll the dice, I would have rolled those ones, you know what I mean? I know that's not the way it works, but that's how it feels sometimes, isn't it? I'll probably play it, I mean, yeah. But I'm not going to get it a release. I'm going to see what it looks like first.
Cocknell Bag Shots just resubbed for 16 months.
I don't know why I love that name. You did try a cheeky play, I saw it. I'm gonna see what it looks like. I'll watch some other people streaming it when it comes out, and I mean, it might just be internet people having a moan about nothing. You never know. You're going out. Have a good time. Man. It was so nice yesterday seeing everybody. There were people. It was we had our 20th anniversary party yesterday, and oh, Rami. Yikes. Gene? Hello? Idiot. So one of the mechanics that I think people don't like is you have to plan your entire turn out now ahead of time. So you have to sort of declare, alright, this guy's going to blitz, then he's going to go here, then he's going to go here, he's going to do that, he's going to block this guy, then he's going to do these two things. Which is not good. Because if that is indeed the case, for example, if I run and knock you over, I don't know where the ball's going to end up. I don't know where the ball's going to end up. It might end up over there, or it might end up over there. So I can't blitz the ball carrier, grab the ball, and do something. I mean, declaring a blitz at the start of your action, I understand that. But I don't want to have to declare every action like that. I think that's really, really bad. You are fucking useless, Magneto. You had to declare passes at the start of a turn? That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense at all. He just cannot pick up the ball, apparently. The man cannot pick up the ball. Twats! Cracker's MVP again.
Earl_TJ just resubbed for 18 months. Afternoon Flax.
Afternoon.
How goes the Blood Bowl? Just wanna say thanks for the entertainment over the last year and half.
Thank you.
It's really helped.
Good. I thought stadium upgrades were off in this league. Am I wrong? I thought they were turned off. If they're on, then I would have done that. But in the back of my tiny pea brain, I thought that there were no stadium upgrades or something like that. Thank you, Spillane.
Just
Oh,
resubbed
Spillane,
for
sorry.
36 months.
God damn my head. Where the fuck are my drugs? What are these? Oh, I can't take those. What are these? Aspirin. Dispersible aspirin, sure. How many do you take? Take 1 tablet. One. Gotcha. Why aren't you becoming dispersed? Dissolve with water. Oh, it is going. Okay. It was resistant. They're not upgraded. Okay, alright, noted. But yes, I normally do. I remove the one that throws a rock. Oh. Turkey and cheese bagel. Oh my god. I like the things involved in that, and yet that really doesn't sound good. I get followed by people sometimes who say things like that are quite, some of their Twitter profiles are quite funny. Absolute God Gamer is this person's Twitter tag. Yeah, it's warm here today as well, Pug. I think if we get a heat wave in September, they call that an Indian summer. I don't know if that's one of those archaic terms that is not cool anymore, but I thought it was just meant to refer to some weather thing. But it is an old saying, so I'm never sure whether it's cool. Like, is Chinese checkers an actual game, or is that like a horrible slang for a variant of checkers? It's hard to know, because at school, our games teacher used to make us play Chinese football, which is where there were 3 balls on the pitch. And it was clearly just meant to be, like, an unpleasant way of referring to it, you know what I mean? And like that game Chinese Whispers, now everybody calls it telephone. Wait, people from Norwich are called Norwegians? Lightweight baby, woo, Dark Elves. Wonder if this is Plague. Damn. Wizard incoming. That's a deep ball. Uh-oh. Give it witch elf, Bob. Give it witch elf. Fucking elf bastards. Fucking elf dickheads. Scum. Absolute scum. Hate 'em. Hate 'em. Sitanric, we have a league here, dude. Stop advertising your crappy league and focus on our awesome league. Unless you're talking about a tabletop league, in which case continue. And now you're advertising your own stream. Shocking behaviour from a guest. Wow, Dave. I didn't call for a timeout. That's just my mods. They were a little heavy-handed at times. Bob getting his excuses in early. Love to see that.
Rowdy Dog 1 just resubbed for 17 months. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. Ah! Of course. Of course the first armor break of the game is an orc. Naturally. It's very hard to stop elves doing elf shit. You just have to hope that you get to the point eventually where there's not enough of them. Generally speaking, when you're marking someone, you want to put, like, if you put them like this, he makes one blitz and he's out, right? So you tend to want to mark them in a way that if he pushes you, he's still in contact with one of your other pieces. But with elves, it's too easy for them to just dodge away. Now we get to punch him. Which is all I wanted anyway.
Mr. Underscore Celebrity just resubbed for 29 months.
Thank you.
The big 29. Arokan08 just resubbed for 1 month.
Terry Holland? Who's Terry Holland, Bob?
Hello Pyrian, thank you for the many hours of Triforce and Mobius series. Quick question, is Abaddon ever used in Dota? I haven't seen him for ages.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go on then. Sleepy time. All the boys are juice lords. Gregory! Thank you, Tommy Flagger. See, I don't know the way Stream Elements says they just subscribed. Because they didn't. They were gifted a sub by Tommy. Was just gifted a sub. I think I should I think you can change the text. Just joined the elite group of something, I guess I should have said. Is pension? Lord McWilliams, I don't quite understand that, I'm afraid.
Adam Tafer Mossman just resubbed for 27 months.
Cheers.
Just renewed my fealty to the Earl of Twickenham.
Bloody elves! introduces herself. Get knacked. Yeah, Bob's team is a brand new team.
Onyx_Senior just resubbed for 13 months. Dave_H just resubbed for 71 months.
Thank you, Dave. My God. Run it in, Cinny. Goal score! Oh, Kislev are a nightmare. Dave, what happened with your upgraded sub? Were you able to get rid of it, or are you stuck with it now? 39. Awful. Damn it. They did a closed alpha, and now they're going to do early access. Look, I don't understand the problem with early access. If you don't want to get involved in early access, don't buy the game. Just pretend the release date is whenever they announce the full release. If you don't want, don't get. Simple. Isn't it? Just don't buy it. I don't understand why people have a problem with it. I mean, I've got Baldur's Gate 3, but I have no intention of firing it up until it's fully released. Like, I don't want to play the early version. I want to play the completed version of the game. So I'm just going to wait for that. Or is that a boo-boo? Problem with Baldur's Gate 3, I heard early on, is that even if you fail, there's not successes of failure. So you kind of have to save scum. I'm sure I read somewhere that if one of the characters dies, it's game over or something like that. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I'd heard that it's like got some oddness to it that makes it not as fun as other Baldur's Gates or something like that. Let's see if we can do some chaining. Good morning from California. Hello. This is a touchback, surely. Nope. Beautiful kick. Sugar. That's what we need. Luckily I have a kilogram of jelly beans. Or is it more than a kilogram? It's nearly 2 kilograms. Excellent. Actually enjoyed picking up that ball. I do like American football, but this is really so little like American football. It's only vaguely similar, really. But the guy that made it in the 80s, when American football started to gain popularity in the UK, we always called it Gridiron. That was a TV show. It was called Gridiron, I think. 80s and 90s they started to show it. And you know, people really liked it. He was watching that one day and he thought, man, you know what, that would make a fun board game. But he wanted to remove some of the things that were obviously boring about American football for a British audience, which was things like the long delays between plays and stuff like that, you know. But to have the element of running with the ball, the line of scrimmage, throwing, that kind of stuff, How could you make that into a board game? And they came up with Bliat Bowl. Tom Stoltman. Down. Sleepy time for us. GG, Bob. How many of them were missed next game injuries? I thought they were just you're out, but I thought they were just you're out of the game, but you'll be alright. The thing with one dead, yeah, but it was a lineman, right? Generally speaking, as an elf, I think you're gonna have journeyman linemen quite often. And you just stick them on the line, and they get the shit kicked out of them, and they die or whatever, and it doesn't really matter. So, if you have 4 elves, you'll be given 7 linemen to fill the slots, you know what I mean? So, you can always play, but they're always just linemen. But, honestly, 270 TV difference or whatever it was, 250, that is a lot to overcome. Because I don't have any subs, I only have 2 rerolls, so there's very little bloat in my team. Sometimes you come up against someone and it's a 200, 300 TV mismatch, and you think, where is their TV coming from? And then you look and they've got like 5 rerolls, and they obviously have a shitload of money in the bank, and they've got like 3 subs, and it's an easier game. Because their value is not on the pitch, in the players, it's in their coffers, and it's in their subs bench, and stuff like that. So, it's very hard to win with a brand new Dark Elf team, where you just don't have the skills. you want to get block and dodge and stuff like that on all your lads, and Dark Elves don't start with shit. So it's very difficult. So yeah, I wouldn't write off the team, Bob. They can be really fun to play. I think you ideally want to get I think you can have 2 Witch Elves, right? Like most of the elf teams I've played against at higher TV, all the value is in a few key players. That's where the money is. They're like max level. And everyone else is like a lineman carrying an injury. Because they just fucking die, whatever. And like, you did it right by dodging away so I don't get a free block, stuff like that. But in general, yeah, you want to have a sort of tight team, you know what I mean? And with elves, bear in mind that when you're queuing, if you queue and you're down a player, 2 Wandering Apos. This guy's, he is playing dwarves, right? Why is he getting 2 Apos, not like a wizard or something? Like, you did it right keeping your lads away, but then you did things like run your lads in, and it was like, oh, he's put 2 lads in the middle of 6 of my boys. Like, it's tough. Whenever I play against elves, I try not to just form a big line, because then you just go around, right? You try and... that's the best thing about orcs, is that the black orcs mean you can just, like, shove them on the line, and they can tie up 2 lads. Even 2 of your lads is only a 1 dice block, so you're taking risks, you know what I mean? Once you get block and guard on your black orcs, they're so... and stand firm and stuff, they're so hard to knock down. So I can just hold the line with 4 guys, and then I've got 7 lads free to mark space, mark lads, and get my lads with tackle on some of your guys. Is Barrack Farblast a lad who throws bombs, or what? Oh my god. Oh wow. Awesome. I think this is a brand new dwarf team. Oh, he's got a sub and 3 rerolls. Head shake. Oh, the sub is because of star player. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good shout. 3 rerolls is too many. Yes, I think when you have an elf versus elf matchup, then that's actually a really good game. I mean, one of the games we did on Thursday night was it Skaven versus... what were they against? Was it humans? Something like that. Something like that? Was it the one that was 4-3? Why has he put this guy on the front line? Skaven versus Kislev. Oh my god, that was a fun game. That's a runner! What's this lad doing? Wow. Hey, that lad can run 6. He's like the Mo Farah of dwarves. Yeah, of course. Of course it's possible. We'll gamble a little here, why not? Let's have some fun. Fuck it. No, Gimli said they were very dangerous over short distances. Hello? Who's that? Oh, you're back. Did you get me any biltong? Ugh. Four-fifths games. Interesting. Okay, so he's a new lad. He's just never thrown blocks. That's really interesting. Do it, Cinny. Alan Shearer is injured. Fuck off, he did. Good catch. Fine hit. He did APO that. I think because it was his runner. Alright, my love. Oh, yeah? Say again? You're gonna start... Yeah? Okay, I'll try and remember that. Alright, I'll set an alarm. I'll say 6. Oh, I'll set it for 8 this evening because that'll be the time, won't it? There we go. God, that's only 5 hours time. How can that be?
Flibbertigibbets just resubbed for 57 months. Regen.
I feel like he's given up. Squiff, let me know if you're in chat, buddy, and I will tell you what Dauntless does. And why you want to use it and who you want to use it on. Alright. So, your Troll Slayers obviously only have 3 strength. Alright? With Dauntless, right? If you're blocking someone who's stronger than you, roll a d6, add it to your strength. If you roll a 2 or more against one of my Black Orcs, you will have the same strength as them. Okay? So Dauntless raises your strength to the level of your opponent's. And the way you work it out is you have your strength, you look at the difference. So if the difference is 2, let's say you were trying to block a troll, you would need to roll 3 or better. Alright? If you do that, your strength is 5 for the purposes of that block. So when you had your Troll Hunter was, I think, here with your Blitzer, if you'd attacked him with your Troll Hunter, he makes his Dauntless check. If he succeeds, you're now strength 4, with this guy adding a strength for strength 5, so it would be a 2 dice block. And with Frenzy, you can push him to the edge of the map, and then next turn maybe bump him off. So if you try to Dauntless on this guy, it'll show up with 2 dice, like red dice. At that point, you make the Dauntless check. You failed it, which is unfortunate. You can re-roll it, which I would recommend. There you go. And now you can knock him down, or you can push. And then push again, or power me, knock me down. Perfect. So Troll Hunters are the lads who, if I try to block the line with my big guys, you turn up, put another dwarf there to give you +1, go for the Dauntless check, and bam me out the way. But be careful. Just remember, if the first block is a push, you might push me into an area where you no longer get the assistance of that guy. And you might even push him next to someone on my team that makes my guy 1 stronger. So even if you make your Dauntless check, it's going to be a -2 dice block. Just bear that in mind. Be careful when doing it. It can cause problems. Idiot. I want to try and get the touchdown on P-Flack so he levels up. He's only 1 point away. Got greedy. That was not the play, sir. God, Jesus, these orcs. We are really, really bad at picking up the ball. Not sure how that block is helping you. Oh. Good, good. Man, this has suddenly become difficult. Yeah. Oh, this game drives me up the wall, Michael. But with the in-houses, I am very happy to watch Blood Bowl. Because it's fun to watch. Because you're not the one suffering. You're just watching other people fail and fall over and lose their lads and miss go-for-its and stuff. Got no problem with that. What I dislike is having to play it myself and the horrific struggle that is Blood Bowl. I think this is the opposite of a dad game because it's very bad for your blood pressure. See, what you ideally when you get this and you've got dwarves at a higher level with guard, you put like a wall of impenetrable guard on the strongest part of their line, so they can't throw any blocks, and you can, and you knock down his line and charge your brave dwarf blitzers through. It is really, really hard to get the ball off people as dwarves. Like, they're a team that plays for 1-0 or 1-1, I think. They're like Arsenal. Well, the old Arsenal, let's say. Arsenal of the 90s, pre-Wenger. You can throw the ball to an empty space. I do it quite often, especially when you have Hail Mary pass. You can chuck it anywhere. Oh, this is a boo-boo. Wow. Squiff, that was one of the if that was a misclick, fair enough. But if it was not, oh boy. Why are you doing these? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop! Stop doing these awful things. Good night, Michael. Squiff, if you want to reposition a lad, like if let's say I had a lad here, and I needed him here for whatever reason, you would go dodge, move, move, move. Because when you're moving from a tackle zone to a tackle zone, you get -1 for every tackle zone you're moving into. Okay? You've got to be careful of that. I don't need to move the ball. He doesn't have anyone in touching distance of my lad. He did it a third time. Must stop. You must stop. Do it. What a pass! Good job, Gregors. glorious. If you throw the ball like that and it's not caught, it's a turnover. Hail Mary. So if I'm passing to another player on my team on a normal pass, if I was say here and I was passing to a guy here, it would be a long pass. I have to make a check to see if I can pass the ball. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think it might be. I think it's an agi check. And then something. Either way, you can look up the rules. Someone will paste them, I'm sure. You make a pass. You make a check to pass the ball. If it passes near an opposing player, they have a chance to intercept the pass, which is they have to roll a 6 on a d6. In which case they catch it. End. It's now the end of your turn. It goes to the target player. If he fails the catch, end. Unless, you know, if you have a reroll, you can get a chance to use a reroll. Sorry, hold on a sec. If you use a reroll to catch it, that's fine. If it goes to the player who was meant to be passing it, okay? Goes to the player who's meant to be passing it, he misses it, and it falls to another guy on your team, still a turnover. Because the guy that was meant to catch it didn't catch it. With a Hail Mary, the ball just goes anywhere. You don't target a player the same way you do with a normal pass. You target a place where you would like the ball to be near. So it's not like a normal pass, and it can go all over the place and it doesn't make a difference. On that occasion, if you saw, it landed in front of my player but bounced into his square, so he got the chance to pick it up. And even though if he'd missed it, it would have been a turnover. But I think that's right. Like, it automatically misses wherever you're aiming it for. Yeah, as long as you make it, you get the skill points. But I don't think you get skill points for Hail Mary. I don't think you do. I could be wrong. I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, I did it at the end of my turn. Like, I did it as my last move. But yeah, I think if you throw the ball, if you have possession of the ball and it ends up on the floor for some reason, it's a turnover, right? Somehow my guy caught it. So even though it bounced off the floor and he caught it, it wasn't a turnover because it counted as caught, right? This is trouble for him. Lucky bastard. Oh my goodness, this lad.
Hungry Pegasus just resubbed for 10 months.
Sleepy time for Gregors. Good point. One dice blocks are better, but without a reroll, Jesus. I mean, if you need to, I get it. There are times when you have no choice. But, I didn't feel that was one of those occasions. Thank you, Hungry Pegasus. No, I don't. No, I don't, Fanta. Shit. I just never throw them because what's the point? Sometimes you have to, but if it's just a block without purpose, is it worth the risk? I don't think so, personally. Mainly because I feel like Blood Bowl is always going to punish you. Like, it's always going to be like, oh, you threw a one dice block. Groovy. You're right, my love. we have a lad with pass, and I got strong arm on him, so he can make those passes a little better. It goes from a 1 in 6 to a 2 in 6. I like those odds. Why did you blitz that one lad there? I wanted to push him. Oh, I wanted to push him away from the ball because it's easier to pick up the ball if you don't have anyone guarding it. Oh. Oh, yes. I think we got 2 level ups. Right. Massive. Well played, Squiff. Some boo-boos. I would say, let me give you a few tips. I'm not trying to be a dick, but here are some things that I think you did wrong. When it's not your possession, in other words, when I'm not kicking to you, don't put all your lads on the line. There's no point. It serves no purpose. All it means is that on my turn, because remember, you have to set up your lads first. You put all your lads down, and then I can think, oh, if I put this lad here, and this lad here, and this lad here, I can get a 2 dice block on this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And then I'll blitz this guy, and I could knock down, if I roll well, 5 of them on that turn. So on your turn, you have to stand them back up. You don't get a return block with them. And you can't move them because they're in contact with my lads. And then the next turn, I do it again. And it just gets progressively worse and worse. So when you're playing defense, you want to try and cover areas of the pitch, have a block of lads that moves around sort of parallel with the ball, mark the guys that I'm very obviously running up the wings to throw the ball to. Also press Control twice at the start of the game, and it will put a grid which allows you to count squares, and it'll show what skills every single unit on the board has, which is really important. So the moment you saw me flooding your backfield with blitzers, you might have thought, well, I don't know what's going on here. But if you looked at my thrower, he has Hail Mary, which means I could throw the ball from anywhere to anywhere. It's not accurate, but I can basically, it's a get out of dodge pass or like a desperation throw. So you need to be wary of that and just mark those lads. Because your dwarves are capable of holding their own. 2 of my Black Orcs, 3 of them don't have block. So I don't really want to have to be blocking with them. And your Troll Hunters, or Troll Slayers, always have the chance of knocking down my Black Orcs because of Dauntless. You just generally want to spread out more, not allow all your lads to be guarded by 4 Black Orcs, which is what ended up happening. Essentially, I just had 4 Black Orcs sticking around next to as many lads as possible. Not because I think, oh, I'll knock them over, but because if I put a strength 4 unit next to 2 of your lads, I have 1 unit tied up, you have 2. And even if you try to block your way out of it, it's a 1 dice block. So it's you know, it's still likely that you'll knock me over if I don't have block on that guy. You've got 3 ways to do it. But there's also a 1 in 6 chance that you'll roll a skull and burn a reroll. So it's, you know, 17% of the time a 1 dice block is not going to go your way. Don't throw them unless you have to, sort of thing. So if I have your 2 lads guarded by 1 of my lads, that leaves another 1 of my men free to go and get into space, to get past to help another guy with an important block. So you clogged up. Early on, you clogged up and stood next to my guys as close as you could. And it was like, great, I'll just leave those 4 Black Orcs to guard this mass of dwarfs and leaves all my blitzers free. So that's how I was able to score 3 times. It is tough with dwarves because they're not very mobile. You have to use your blitzers and your runner to just try and mark who you think I'm going to pass the ball to. Orcs are not like super fast. We don't have dodge on anybody. We don't have plus agi on anybody. My general game plan is
just resubbed for 1 month.
to try to punch you and knock enough guys out that the game becomes easier. And if that doesn't work, run a lad through and Greg chucks a ball at him. And this is the way I did it with my orcs, with the Scrubnuts team, the first orc team that I had, where we had Plague had 8 move. So he would just go trundle, 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 trundle to practically the end zone. We'd Hail Mary it at him. He runs and picks it up and scores. Or he catches it and he scores. So that is tough to mark against. But we didn't have that. We just had basic blitzers. You were trying to knock down as many down and run, but you never put pressure on the ball. You never put pressure on the ball carrier. You were moving lads in to get 2 dice blocks, but essentially that's what I want you to do. The Black Orcs have armor 9, so, you know, they sometimes get injured and killed and all the rest of it, but their job is to stand there and just get thumped over, stand up, get thumped over, and tie up your lads. And when they did that, it gave me the man advantage that I needed to score those touchdowns. And I think you've got to understand that with dwarves, they're very hard to break into their cage. So when you get the ball, get it surrounded by a few dwarves and just grind your way down the pitch with the troll slayers, creating gaps with the troll slayers and moving slowly down. So the first half, I can't remember whose possession. I think it was your possession first half. So I kicked to you. Just grind down the pitch. And also never ever put your runners on the line of scrimmage, because they don't have block. And then they have 8 armor, and they're pretty much your best chance of scoring. They want to be in the backfield. Linemen, put linemen up there. That's their job. Your star player that you hired, his whole thing was throwing the ball really, really far. So what you could have done was create a gap, get a runner in there, and then he just bombs the ball to them and you can score. Anyway. Work in progress, but you'll get there. Well, the Orc team's looking all right. Need to get these Black Orcs with block. That's when things really start to get easier. Right, I am knackered, so I'm going to take a break, lads. Oh, I'll be back this evening at 8 o'clock. Hope you can join me then. Cheers for watching. Take it easy. Peace out.